Number 10 says that, what's her name? Winnie square roots a number. Do you know what the sign is for square root? Square root's a number on a calculator. Then what happens? Does she get an answer?
Yeah.
So she gets an answer. Well, okay. Do we know what that answer is? Not yet. So she gets some answer, and then what does she do with that answer? So she square rooted one number, got an answer, and then what did she do with that answer? And she square rooted it again, and then what happened? So it showed the number 3 after. Okay? So let's try to work backwards through this. So let's say we have a number. Okay? Remember, square roots are opposite. Okay? So what happens is when you do square roots, say we're working with the base of 5, and we have 5 to the power of, let's say, 5. Right? I'm going to write that out. So 5 to the power of 5 is equal to 5 times 5 times 5. How many times? Good. Okay. Each time I do it, I actually get a new number. So I'm going to solve a little bit at a time. So I'm going to do the first two 5s. What's 5 times 5? So I end up with 25. And then I bring down the other ones. Times 5, times 5, times 5. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 25 times 5. Okay? I'll do that on a calculator. Okay. 25 times 5 equals 625. That can't be right. Try that again. 25 times 5 equals, there you go, 125. So I get 125. Remember, I did those two to get that, then I did these two to get this, so then I still have times 5 left, okay? And then let's say we get that answer, times 5. So we're going to do 125 times 5. I got that number up here, 125. Whoops. 125 times 5, 625. Okay, so I get 625. And then I still got to bring down the old answer, times 5. And then finally I'm going to equate these two. Okay, do you see how I went down the process? Okay, to get these. Times 5 equals 3,125. Big number. 3,125. Okay. Well, I want to show you what I've actually done is this. What is 5 times 5 as a power? How many times have I used number 5?
5 to the power of 2.
Yeah, so this was to the power of this was technically 5 to the power of 2. And then I used that answer, and I added another 5 to it. So if I put another 5 in, what would that be? That would be 5 to the power of 3. So this part here, I added another, I got 5 to the power of 3. What about with the next one? Yeah, 5 to the power of 4. And then finally, when I did the last one, this was the same as 5 to the power of 5. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that number and I'm going to start square rooting it. Square root it, because that's what the question's asking us, right? So I have 3,125, and I hit square root button. Okay? It takes us back to 5 times 5. Okay.
Press the equal button?
Yep. Okay, so this is just a little background in exponents. That's a background in exponents. But let's talk about to the powers of 5. Or sorry, let's talk about our square root question. So, our square root question, we had, remember 10, we had that the square root of some number was equal to the answer, and then they square rooted that answer, and they got the number what? 3. Do you know what a square root does? A square root, say we square root 25, that tells us what number times itself equals 25. So 5 times 5 is 25. So the square root of 25 is the number 5. Okay? For instance, if we have the number 100, we find the square root of it. What number times itself equals 100? 10, that's right. So square root of 100 is 10. So we got to figure out what? Because this is an answer. See how we had this answer? How would I take 10 to 100? What exponent would I put it to? If I wanted to turn 10 into 100, what exponent would I put it to? 10 to the power of what? Because we know, 2, because we know 10 times 10 equals 100, right? And then that means there's 2 10s, so we put it to the exponent 2. So, if we're trying to find out what number square root it became 3, what would I put 3 to the power of to find the first answer? 2, yeah. What's 3 to the power of 2? 9. Okay, so let's keep going here. So number 10 still. Square root, we still don't know. But we do know they square rooted the number 9, right, to get 3. Okay, so now we know we're working with the number 9 next. And they did a square root to get that number 9. So how would I find out what number they square rooted to get 9? 9 to the power of what? 2 again. So what's 9 to the power of 2 to figure out the original number? It is 81. So they square rooted 81. They got the number 9. Then they square rooted the number 9 and got the number 3. Does that make sense?